You are now listening to That's Unheard Of, where we put the amp on musicians that deserve to be heard most. Gloria Lavern Collins stands as an unsung, remarkable talent to the world. Known by most as Lynn Collins, and by others as the female preacher, Collins' music was a hit in the 70s, working with James Brown to become a progenitor of the soul genre. Her music's legacy remains notably prevalent in the origins of hip-hop and sample rap between the 80s and 90s, the evolution of pop in the 2000s and 2010s, and the blooming experimental and electronic subgenres in the modern era. On the surface, this seems like the success story of a strong, independent black woman in the 70s, with a platform and footing provided by James Brown allowing her to soar to uncharted heights to satisfy this cliche. However, something's not quite right. Upon researching Collins' story, there are significant gaps and limits to what you can find, almost like her voice was dampened. But digging deep enough, I found the untold truth. It's never all sunshine and roses in the music industry, of course, and James Brown isn't actually quite the noble figure you'd see him out to be. I'm Max, a junior year student at the University of Delaware, and a humble music hobbyist. And I'm Max, also a junior year student at the University of Delaware. And this is the unheard story of the most heard woman across the globe. Max, I'll be honest, I'm kind of in the dark here. I never heard of this Lynn Collins person. Can you fill me in, sort of? Yeah, and believe me, Max, you might not have heard of her, but you've heard her. But we'll get to that later. Let's just start it from, the beginning. Gloria Lavern Collins was born in Dime Box, Texas in 1948. At this young age, she started her singing career with a local group called Charles Pike and the Scholars, recorded her first single known as Unlucky in Love, and married a local promoter of James Brown's People Records at the age of 14. Wait, she's 14 and she marries someone just like that? Right, but I guess it was just a different time back then, and those kinds of things were more common than you think. But through this connection, she was convinced to attend a concert performance by James Joseph Brown, who was often regarded as the godfather of soul and the founder of the Brown Records Company. This performance inspired her immensely, and from there on out, she began to broaden her horizons. A year later, in 1969, Collins heard of an opportunity at the record label through her husband, as a singer on the James Brown Revue, known as Marva Whitney, gave word of leaving the roster. That's pretty lucky. Also, what's a review? Okay, so a review, spelled R-E-V-U-E, not like, a video review, but like an entertainment review. It's just a word for a theatrical form of entertainment. Think like SNL, for example. That sounds so fancy. Is that like French or something? But anyways, back on track, Marva Whitney gave word of leaving. But before Collins could capitalize on this opportunity, a singer by the name of Vicki Anderson showed up to sign for a 2-year stint with the company in the Revue. Oh, so this is like the villain of the story, I'm assuming. Oh, believe me, we're not even there yet. Oh, although it was sort of a setback for Collins, it didn't really impose on her path to success. Collins worked up the nerve to record demo tapes with her vocals for the record company and left them with James Brown. She really didn't hold back. Like, one day she's just, attending his concert, and then the next day she's saying, let me work with you. Right, and it's important to mention how Brown kind of took immediate action in response to these demo tapes. Once Brown heard her voice, he was hooked, and Collins was placed on a waiting list for a spot on the Revue immediately. 2 years she'd have to wait though, right? That is a long time. Well, although Collins didn't earn her spot, whoa,